Hey, what's going on, guys? It is your boy, Jordan, or the Fear Raiser, and you know what? I get it. This is a little different right now. This is a commentary-style video, and I want to be straight up with you guys right now in the first 10 seconds of the video because, you know, from the title, you clearly click to see why you're still single. Now, I don't know if you're single or if you're just curious as to the stuff I've got to say, so please be sure to stick around because I've got a lot of crazy stuff. I really got a lot here, guys, that I feel like not many people, especially here on YouTube, are going to bring up, either because they're afraid to, or they just, you know, it's just something people don't acknowledge often. So, if you're single, or you're just curious, stick around and watch, because I'm about to jump into this, so let's just go, and I hope you guys can even just put this to the side, play a game, browse on the internet, and just listen. Because, you know, I get it, this is a commentary style video, so anyways, I'm just ranting. So if you're somebody who's single and you really just don't understand why, I've got a couple of things listed here, we're gonna get into it. So, the first thing I have here is that perhaps you're somebody who assumes someone will fall into your life. Now, I get it, you know, we kind of grew up in this weird Disney style world where we believe in romance and we believe in fate, and you know, there's nothing wrong with believing in that kind of stuff, and you know, I think it's really nice, and I don't want to be the person to kill that vibe or those dreams, but I have to be real with you. Even though there is nothing wrong with believing in that stuff, you also need to be a little realistic here. We live in a time where technology has literally absorbed everybody on their phones. People aren't as easy to connect with. People aren't even going outside often, to be quite honest with you. And to believe that the one will just kind of fall into your life, I really think that's just make-believe. And I'm not saying it can't happen, because I'm sure it's happened to some people in this world. And, you know, coincidence or not, whatever you want to believe in, yeah, of course, anything is possible. But to be realistic, to think that every single person will get their chance at getting the love of their life, or whoever, to just fall into their arms, just out of nowhere, I really think that's a fallacy. I think that's not true. And I don't want to be the person to break that news to you, but I think it's better for me or somebody to just tell you that fact so you can snap out of it and stop thinking, you know, just give it some time, it'll just happen. You know, I really don't think that's true. And I really think that also is going to apply to a lot of the other things that I have here today. So please keep listening, and I'm very curious, by the way, to hear what you guys have to say. So please be sure to leave your opinions in the comment section below. If you even made it this far in the video, I'm proud of you guys, because a lot of viewers here on this channel have not even made it past 2 minutes, which is really sad, but, you know, we're gonna work on it. We're gonna try our best. So the next thing I got here, guys, is, do you leave your house often? Now, you know, of course people leave their homes and go out into the world when they have to, but we are living in a time where being an introvert, and not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with being an introvert, but people who are becoming hermits in their own homes, not leaving the house, not going out in the world, it's kind of becoming a problem, especially for people who want to find somebody. People who, you know, they are single but want to be in a relationship. People are developing, you know, people who are already shy or anxious are getting overly shy and overly anxious, and they're having issues with talking to other people. And, you know, even for some, in extreme cases, this turns into like a super big problem. I actually have known some people who were, you know, they were kind of shy and anxious, you know, in school, and since then they haven't really been leaving their homes ever, and they're just super just overwhelmingly afraid to really interact with people outside. You know, they'll leave when they absolutely have to, but other than that, they're just, you know, they're just struggling. And I think this is a real problem that can develop for anybody. Anybody who's not getting proper social interaction, people who are inside way too often and disconnecting. I really think this is a problem. And, you know, if all of these things that I've mentioned so far don't apply to you, then that's great. You know, that's good. But if they do, and not that I'm saying you should in any way, shape, or form take offense to it, it's just best to be aware that, you know, perhaps maybe some of these things you kind of can relate with. And if you can, that's great, because hopefully you'll realize that this is something you could probably work on, especially if you want to work on it. Not that I'm going to tell you how to live your life, But, again, I think being self-aware is an incredibly powerful tool to help enhance your life. So, with that being said, I have some more I want to talk about here, so let me just jump to the next thing. So, something that, often we aren't necessarily aware of, I mean, for the most part, we can be pretty good at telling, but do you take care of yourself? Do you take care of yourself physically? Are you going to the gym? Are you working out? Are you just being healthy overall? Are you overweight? Are you underweight? I'm not telling anyone out there to believe that you need to be physically fit in order to, get a date at all. And I am not saying that. That being said, we need to realize that when you're looking for a partner, that, you just being, completely, I don't want to say egotistical or narcissistic, but, being self-absorbed, thinking you are the best, and when you're not, let's say, if you're very overweight and just being very, hateful towards why nobody wants to come towards you in the dating realm, or, this or that, or just kind of filling your head with all these terrible thoughts and assumptions. I think people don't seem to realize that when it comes to attractiveness, I think people too often, mistake that it's like, oh, it's all in the face. They're like, oh, my face isn't attractive or whatever. The reality is, guys, that love is in the eyes of the beholder, and I really do think that being somewhat physically active and just fit, taking care of yourself physically is also attuned to that. I think that because here's a thought. Why is it that every person who is fit, right? Why is it that people that we look at in the world who are physically fit, men or women or whatever, even if you don't look at their face, you're still kind of attracted to that. Now, some people aren't into that, but that's okay. But you can't deny that there are qualities of people who are fit, not too fit, not the gross veiny fit, but what I'm talking about, like superhero Marvel fit, kind of like. A lot of that. There's a lot of attractive qualities to that because, guys, we seem to forget that we are animals. We are literally from the animal kingdom. We are looking for physical traits and qualities in partners so we can, have kids with and they can be healthy, and this is just something people forget way too much. And if you don't think we're animals, then you're not thinking clearly, because that is not how you should be looking at the world. And I don't want to, and again, I don't want to get too much into this because, you know what? When it comes to the physicality of people, it's a touchy subject. And, perhaps I've made some people upset saying this stuff. And I want to say that you can be whoever you want to be. You can be as fit or as little as fit as you want. These are just things I wanted to bring up to you guys. I'm not saying you can't fall in love if you're not fit. I'm not saying that at all. In fact, I was not fit when I fell in love for the first time. I was a chubby boy, okay? But at the end of the day, being physically fit does, if anything, help you live your best life, be healthy, and feel more attuned with your mind and a whole bunch of other effects. But I still have more I want to talk about, and that is, do you financially take care of yourself? Are you emotionally okay? Are you emotionally taking care of yourself? I mean, are you just blowing paycheck to paycheck? Are you just not using your money wisely? Are you in debt? Are you emotionally okay? Do you have emotional intelligence? Like, these are other qualities that are very important as well. And I really think taking a step back and even getting some, even talking to your family, your friends, just kind of gather some information, get some other opinions besides just assuming everything is okay. I think it's good to accept criticism, or be open, be vulnerable, but be prepared to take that, because I think that's a really great way to help enhance yourself. So anyways, I'm going to go to the next thing now. So, and by the way, sorry if this is a lot of information. Sorry if I'm rambling or anything. I really do hope some of this is insightful and helpful. I know this is different for a commentary style video here on this channel. I do still want to help you guys. I still want to help people out there. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. So anyways, I'm going to keep going. So, do you keep making excuses as to why you can't find anyone? Now, I think this is a big one. I've known some people who were like this, and I just want to say I really just don't think it's smart. I don't think it's healthy to make excuses, especially when it comes to why something isn't happening in your life. You know, I'm a big believer as to if you want to make something happen, you really got to put the work in there to make it happen. You've got to essentially set the playing field for yourself to jump into something that's already happening. Because guys, when you think about it, the dating realm is its own game, right? You know the whole saying, oh, we've got a player over here. Like, essentially, people who play the game. And it's not, that shouldn't be taken or misinterpreted to be a bad thing. You know, I really do think the dating realm, the dating world is a bit of a game. And, you know, when it comes to finding a partner, it doesn't just happen. Like, you really got to know what you're doing. You've got to have some confidence in yourself. You've got to be approachable. You've got to be able to talk to people openly, be friendly. You know, there's a whole lot of things. And I really think that if you keep making excuses as to why you can't find anyone, I think all you're really doing is just kind of shooting yourself in the foot and just blaming everything on the world and not yourself. I really think that, if anything, you should really kind of look at why things aren't happening, and I really think you should look at you being the reason for that, firstly. Now, I don't know the life you're living, and I can't tell you exactly if, you know, if things are just, you know, if you just got a lot of bad luck or what. But oftentimes, if things aren't working out, it's best to look at what we could be doing wrong, to assess the situation, and see if we can do anything better to fix that. And lastly, I have one last thing I want to say. It's very important, so listen up. All right, here we go. Do you love yourself? Now, I've said this in a recent video before, and, you know, it's very true. It's very true. Do you love yourself? You know, how can you ever love somebody if you do not love yourself? And that kind of goes back to all the things that I mentioned in this video. You know, from, you know, do you leave the house often? Are you anxious? Are you shy? You know, do you take care of yourself? You know, these are all very important things, but they all relate back to, do you love yourself? And if you don't, if you're somebody there who, you know, struggling a lot emotionally, and you know, you're going through a whole lot of stuff, and you just want to find somebody to just kind of take the chip off your shoulder, I do want to warn you that I don't think that's a smart idea. If you want to be in a relationship that matters and that works and that isn't toxic, I really think the smartest thing to do is take the time to take a step back and start actually looking inward, looking at yourself and doing what you can to love yourself. Because the reality is, guys, oftentimes we get so hurt by what other people say, and often those are from people we don't care about. And if we don't love them, or if they're not a part of our lives, why do we care so much? It's because, you know, the negativity that it reflects back onto us, and it reflects back onto how we actually feel about ourselves. So learn how to love yourself, and you will become invincible. And that is one of the biggest things you could do to enhance your life, not only for the with finding a relationship, but just in general. And, you know, lastly, guys, another thing, perhaps you just don't want to be in a relationship, and that's fine. Nobody says you need to be in a relationship, and that's totally okay. And, you know, at the end of it all, guys, it's all about you living the life you want to live. That's really it. Live the life you want to live, and that's really the best advice I can give you guys. This video and the knowledge in this video was only meant to help anyone out there looking for it, and if I even could help one person with this video, then I've done my job. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, I know it was really out of the ordinary. I know it was different, but, you know, YouTube has just been a struggle, and, you know, this is honestly as far as I really want to go right now in terms of making content, because it's just difficult. It's just been a lot. You know, videos have just not been picking up, and I do want to thank anyone out there that's been watching my videos. This was not scripted. I just wanted to go on a little love tangent and give advice. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to stick around, watch more videos, and I will see you in the next video. All right, guys, take care, and have a great day. See ya!